Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 2026 European Open Classic Powerlifting Championships. We're live from St. Julian's, Malta. This championship is brought to you by Maniac Fitness. My name is Alexandre Nodin, and to my left, to cast this beautiful session of B groups, we have Mr. Luka Babic, international athlete, as well as an IPF Cat 2 referee. How are you feeling, Luka?
Currently, I'm feeling very electric as the atmosphere behind there was really electric, and I'm looking forward to watch a really beautiful session of lifting.
Surely it can be a beautiful session. Both B groups, 69s and 93s. We are not sure as if we have outsiders for the podium, but we've seen medals in individual movements outside multiple B groups this championship. So interesting storylines to see. We have one massive squat opener in the B group of 69s, openers ranging from 142.5 for Sarah Blahova to 192.5 for Sabina Materek. She's forecasted second in the class based on openers. Of course, that is with the A group yet to compete, but if she can add up some more kilos onto that massive opener, she has a strong shot at a medal and maybe a top 5 in the class. We'll see that later on. We need to see that total develop with all 9 attempts.
Yeah, the medal from B group is completely different feeling than medal from A group.
Yeah, you're shooting in the dark. You're just looking at nominated totals maybe, and if you've seen a bit of the athletes from the A group's training, but you're shooting in the dark. You don't know what's going to be needed for a medal. You just need to capitalize on your levels of fitness on the day.
Exactly.
This first group is starting 142.5 for the Slovak Star Balba. Yeah, that's a smooth opener.
Not on the quickest side, but still very quick.
And we've seen lifters being kind of slow on their opener and regain some momentum after the second. I usually ask that question to guests. Would you say that the first squat is the most nerve-wracking attempt?
That's 110% true. I always say the first squat is the hardest lift of the whole competition.
I would agree. Now Chiara Callens, Belgium 145, opening quite far of her PB of 162.5. We're gonna have to gauge how she looks on the day. Can we expect some big jumps, Luka?
I just hope she's not injured or something like that, but let's see.
Doesn't look injured to me.
Yeah, technique was perfect.
Technique was perfect indeed. 3 white lights. Discussions happening with the coach to see what they're gonna put in. Maybe they had 1 or 2 options.
Yeah, I think maybe she got a bit of a hip going up too quickly. Maybe, we will see.
I'd be comfortable adding another 10, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Next up, another athlete from Belgium. She's been very involved with this championship so far, been coaching, been supporting in the crowd, and now she's competing. Clara Olo, 150.
She was gathering energy prior these days to compete. Very tidy, nice.
Yeah, on point, 3 white lights. And now that this squad has passed, I think they're going to be reassured with their bar positioning. They were wondering whether it'd be maybe a bit too low with the new rules. I think it's just where you would want it, not any lower.
I would say, yeah, I would agree. It's a perfect position of the bar regarding the new rules.
And if it passes once, it shall pass twice, so I'm pretty sure they're going to load at least a 10 onto that.
I would say so, but
Maybe even more.
Try not to be greedy and go even lower with the bar.
And they've put in 15. They're going to go from 150 to 165. We'll see that later on in the second round of squat. Now on the platform is Nana Malmgaard, 152.5.
bit on the harder side also. Oh, we have one depth call from the left side.
That's going to be a 2-to-1. Keep in mind, it is very possible for a lifter to be asymmetrical at the bottom, so for one hip to be higher up than the other. You would know about that, Luca. How does that look on the replay?
From my point of view, this is very good depth.
And it was according to our right side ref, so seems like you are on the same page.
And jury is not complaining, so yeah, the lift stays.
Now a Croatian, Luca, would you want to announce her?
Yeah, she's one of the strongest athletes from female side in Croatian powerlifting affiliation, and I think she's rooting herself for a national record squat on this event.
155 first attempt. Clearly a case of the hips kicking back, but still I think it's going to be a solid attempt. 3 white lights, she's on the board. Not the best opener, but if it's a national record, it's not going to be easy.
That's why it's called a record, you know?
2 more openers to go, one at 172.5 for Nusa Selesnik from Slovenia.
Actually, it's pronounced Nusha.
Nusha.
Very experienced international lifter. Her 9th international competition in her career.
So only 1 year without stepping on the international platform. She has 10 years of competitive experience. An easy opener for Nusha. Would you say that's a speedy one for her or a reasonable one?
I would say right in the middle. Yeah, we can maybe see even faster openers depending on how lifters squat and squat reflex and that stuff.
Next up, Sabina Materek, Poland, 192.5. This is her nominated squat. So it's either a case of she's made some great progress in the gym, or she's opening very aggressively.
Let's wait and see.
Just for reference, the biggest nominated squat is 211 out of Jordan Brights in the A group, and we only have 4 lifters in the 200, so if she's opening at 192, where is she going to end up?
She's definitely shooting for that medal position.
Yeah, that's going to be 3 white lights. I think that 2 means I'm loading 200.
Yeah, I would agree, definitely.
Yeah, if we're getting that correctly, I think we can expect a 200 in the second round from Sabina. So everyone's on the board.
That's really nice to see. That's what you actually want to see every single time when the championship is on.
And Sabina has already surpassed each and every member of the C group with that squat. That was to be expected, of course, with that kind of a squat. And you're pointing towards the screen. She has indeed loaded in 200 for the second attempt. Starting off the second attempt with Sarah Vlahova, 152.5, jump of 10. The bar is starting to, bar starting to offer some resistance, but that's to be expected with the 10 kg jump. Do you think she's on pace for a match PB? It was 157.5. It required a jump of 5.
She definitely has 5 more in, I would say, but 7.5? I wouldn't say so.
Yeah, let's load up another 5 and see how it moves. Next up, Chiara Callens, 155. She's also jumping 10.
That's actually a huge jump.
But not the biggest one we're gonna see. Wow, already,
what a grind.
Yeah, much more of a grinder. 3 white lights, and with that kind of grip on the bar, it is difficult not to push forward with your hands. So you have to be like relaxed enough not to push the bar forwards and still being able to grind it out.
You're trying to actually fight the bar not to go in front of you, and trying to, I don't know, push the quads more to the front so the bar stays behind you, not to get in front of you. So yeah, it's quite a difficult one to.
Yeah, it's a fine line to maintain all throughout the lift. Now mom guard, Denmark, 160 jump of 7.5.
She told me that she changed her technique of squat a little bit regarding the rulebook changes. So let's see how she performs on her second attempt of squat. Yeah, this looks fine for me.
Wow!
What a fight!
I think we have a strong contender for grind of the championship here. 3 white lights, a good lift. I think she lowered the bar compared to her opener, and high heels and very low bar usually do not go together. This might be why.
Yeah, because the force is trying to get you back and you're trying to lean yourself forward, so you're basically fighting against yourself all the time. But maybe that's the way she found out to.
Now a more amped up version of Clara Olo is back on the platform. 165, a jump of 15 kilos.
That's a huge one. What a fight!
And I don't know if we can attribute that to a lack of strength, so it was super grindy, or just the jump of 15 that made it hard.
I would say the second one, because when you jump that lot, the bar can actually feel a lot heavier than it is because you're not, let's say, warmed up well. But maybe, you know, attempt selection and that stuff, we don't know who are they fighting, so yeah.
With what I'm seeing, she's more worried about the speaker pronouncing her name correctly rather than the attempt itself. I think she's still confident in herself.
That's the most important thing.
Mateja Bumba, Croatia, 165, jump of 10. This is her personal best.
This is actually a national record, so let's see how it moves.
Pushing the boundaries of what's ever been done as a Croatian athlete in this weight class.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I must admit, I was not seeing a jump of 10 after that opener.
Yeah,
Seemed a bit greedy.
I wouldn't say greedy, I would say just, you know, athlete mindset. You want to like beat yourself, that stuff. And she's pushing the boundaries in Croatian powerlifting, so yeah, you know how it goes when you want to be the best.
Yeah, and when you're pushing the boundaries, sometimes you're going to lose. That tends to happen when you're trying to make history happen. Now, Nosha from Slovenia, 177.5. I'm getting there, Luca.
After squats, we'll maybe give you Croatian citizenship.
International speaking, commentating, and traveling, apparently. Five kg jump for Nusha.
Very efficient second attempt. Perfectly selected, I would say.
Do you think they go with the same jump? Another 5 kilos?
Maybe I would put it, but she has to lock in, you know,
Yeah.
for the last attempt.
And talk about locking in Sabina Materek, Poland. 200 kilos in the second round of the B group. Would you believe that?
That's insane. She's for sure aiming that podium places, you know.
200 is one massive milestone. A huge personal best of 7.5 on the platform. And 200 is a huge amount of weight for anyone.
Strong setup. Unfortunately.
I think they were shooting for that medal position, jumping 7.5, but I don't think it's gonna be there on the day. Maybe she's one of those lifters that had to adapt their grip on the bar. You can see that she's making sure to have that thumb pressing against the bar because you need to have all fingers gripping the bar now within the new rules.
Yeah, that's the new rule, so maybe she didn't have enough time to adapt, or maybe that new position doesn't really feel good for her. So maybe the force transfer is not the best.
I mean, a short month of training to try and adapt is not a whole lot. Beginning of the third round of squats for the B group of 69. Sarah Blahova, Slovakia, 157.5. This one's to match her personal best, just as you predicted.
Fight it, come on.
Never a doubt in her eyes. She knew she had that. 3 white lights, solid final attempt.
Perfect attempt selection, I would say. Not a kilo left there.
Yeah, nicely executed. Now it is Chiara Kallenstern, 157.5. I'm expecting another grind here. I think we're going to see multiple grinds in this final round of squat.
You know, that's why it's called final round of squat. Let's see.
It's in the name.
157.5 kilos on the bar for Chiara. 3 attempts left to change. Open up for the next group.
157.5 for a 3 for 3 in the squat event. Can she stand up with it? No, I think.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
She knew from the get-go, didn't want to empty the tank, trying to grind it out. She left it up to the spotters, and these guys are absolutely elite. No mislows, great quick reaction time, very predictable. Shouts out to the spotters.
Shouts out to them. Without them, we couldn't have this kind of meet.
100%.
Very quick and efficient, that's what you want as an athlete. So you can count your warm-ups and your attempts pretty well.
Another jump of 2.5. This one's for Nana Momgaard, Denmark. 162.5, just 2.5 shy of her PB. But this is Euros. You attempt what you have to collect as many kilos as possible. Is she coming out now is the question. I'm not seeing her getting ready. Interestingly enough, but this is the fair play thing to do. With such a short flight, you put in the attempt, you let the minute roll for your opponent to get some rest.
Yeah, since there's only 8 of lifters circling around this flight, you really want to be as fair play as possible with these kind of attempts, because every minute counts, you know. 7 to 8 minutes rest in between squats, that can feel actually pretty quick. If you're used to like 10 to maybe even 12 minutes of breaks in between your squat attempts on training, and then you arrive on competition and have 7.
Yeah, that's almost 50% less. That's tough.
Yeah, but you have to adapt on the competition day, so it's not only up to you, it's up to everyone.
Hopefully Matea has adapted. The Croatian retaking 165, another chance at a history in Croatia.
She's actually gonna try to repeat the attempt again, so let's see how it goes. She's actually a really experienced lifter with 31 competition in her career.
So you think she has a chance?
As a Croat, I must say, I think she has.
Okay, being biased on the live stream, I see.
No, I'm completely objective.
Of course, we want to see her succeed. 165, one solid final squat needed. Just not there on the day. Maybe the travel, maybe the recomp, but she's going to squat even more than that in the future.
For sure, she will. She's the fighter, you know. She's gonna take these attempts, rethink about them, and just become even more powerful.
No more changes for the next group.
Now Clara, the determined Holo, 175. She's going for 5. She does not care about a 2.5. She's adding 5. That makes it 170 to match her personal best in competition. After 165, that was very grindy.
She's fired up.
Trusting her gut. She knows what she wants. Can she make it happen?
Come on, push it, fight it. Yeah, what a fight. What a fight.
And talk about trusting your gut. 3 white lights. That was strength, belief, and determination. That was SBD just with a squat.
I think that she did it because of announcer pronouncing the name well, you know.
Yeah, that's what
it
happened.
kicked in. It kicked in, you know.
It did.
Nusa Zelensky.
Now is it Nusha?
Yeah, you don't have to. Okay,
I might have lost it a bit. Nusha Zelensnik?
Железник.
Zelensnik. 180. So not going for a personal best, which is sensible. 177.5 was not very easy.
Yeah, you have to take what you have on the day.
Yeah, this is Euros. You collect attempts. You build up that subtotal.
This is a sport of total, not squat. Nusha.
See, that was the correct decision.
Exactly, not a kilo left there. You see, she's happy.
Great attempt selection from Team Slovenia. Now one final squat for the 69s. It's a retake from the second round. Sabina Matrek from Poland retaking 200. The stakes are the same, a 7.5 kg personal best and a possible shot at a squat medal in the 69s.
Let's see, it's the last attempt, and usually when it's the last one, you can lock in more, you can gather more strength, so let's see it.
When there's a will, there's a way. 200 kilos for a ride.
Give her a big round of applause.
Very steady. Oh, this fight!
No, ever so close to that 200. I really thought she had that this time. She had 199.
199.9, I think.
Probably. Just not 200 on the day. 192 is still a very solid squat. She easily tops out the B group of the 69s.
That's a very solid result. She must be proud of that.
So that closes out the squat event of the 69s. Of course, we'll be jumping straight to the 93s. These boys battling it out, but they're going to have a tough task to try and surpass anyone from the A group. Unfortunately, we have the second nominated, Richmond Biden, not coming, so that's one less huge and well-known name athlete to beat. However, there's still Christian Ayondoko and Mario, still Jonathan. The guys of the A group are going to be tough to beat. But we'll see, starting off with Daniel Lemming Yusung, Denmark, 260.
He said in warm-up room that he switched technique from high bar to low bar after 12 years of competing with the high bar.
Just like Jesus Olivares.
I think he's copying him, yeah, I would say so. He adapted well.
I would stick with low bar if I was him.
For sure, yeah.
3 white lights. The snappiest opener we've seen today.
How much would you put for a second attempt? 12 more?
I would go, yeah, 12. I'll be comfortable with the 12.
Rene Hofer from Austria.
Yeah, 262.5.
Nominated 308 with squat. So something's maybe not right here. Maybe injured or something like that. Maybe it's just that kind of attempt selection.
Yeah, probably. Maybe we can expect a huge jump. And also, another notable that's not going to be competing is Thomas Fujiza from Switzerland. He was nominated in the B group, but had a strong shot at a bench press medal. Unfortunately, tore his back 1 week out, so he's not going to be able to compete. But shouts out to those guys, Rico and Thomas. We hope to see them back in the near future. Tomáš Votava, Czechia, 262.5.
So first year in open. Let's see how he goes. Faster than a thunder.
Yeah, super comfortable. He was at unis just a month ago to coach. Now he's competing. Usually that's not the easiest preps, but he's looking to be in great shape. So in Madsen, Denmark 265.
265 kilos on the bar for Sone.
Calm before storm.
Seems like you have insider's information. Very asymmetrical, but very comfortable under the bar. That's going to be 2-1, a good lift. What could that glute be for?
So either downward movement of the bar or soft knees. Let's see it again. It looks fine to me.
Yeah, the blue was on the other side, so we're gonna trust our ref over there. I saw something, we did it.
Churi seems happy about it at the moment.
Now, Mikhail Kyriakos 267.5 for the representative of Cyprus.
Cyprus champion.
I can see why.
He loves to jump a lot in between the attempts on squats, so we can maybe see 25, 30 kilo jump.
Not sure I would risk a 30 after getting a red on my first squat, but 2-1, a good lift.
It looks good to me.
Yeah, on that side it looks perfectly fine, but very likely that the other hip was a bit higher up. Now a representative of Czechia, Luka.
Miroslav Nečas.
Mr. Nečas opening with 270.
Let's see that opener.
These guys are on.
Yeah, every single opener is so quick.
Yeah, it's as fast on the way down as on the way up. Doesn't make any sense, but 3 white lights, all good.
Very nice technique.
And these
Efficient.
openers have flown by. This is already the final opener, Leonardo Blachkovic, 277.5.
Blažekovic.
Blachkovic. I don't know my Croatian yet.
Better
Not gonna be
known-
a citizen.
Better known as Blaze, we can call him like that.
Blaze is a fire nickname too.
Yeah, it is. This should move very quickly.
Don't jinx him now.
I have the jinx power now, you know. I'm a commentator. Oh, yep.
I think the bar moved and rolled a bit on his back, and it still was very speedy.
Maybe it's too light for him, you know?
Might be.
He's rooting himself for a national record squat, which currently stays at 290. So I think there is 290 there. Maybe even on second attempt.
Yeah, probably, I would say. But just with that squat, he even tops out the C group. He has the biggest squats of the weight class so far. But keep in mind that in the A group, we have lifters squatting in 300s.
I wouldn't say it's too far away.
300s, no, but the 310s might be a bit of a stretch. We'll see. Rainer Hofer, Austria, 277.5, jump of 12.5. Not as big of a jump as you could have been anticipating with a 310 best squat. but still, it's 3 white lights.
Quite decent second attempt. He's just taking what he has on the day, you know. He's a experienced lifter. Although he hasn't lifted on international stage since 2022. So yeah, good to see him back here.
Daniel Lemmelusen, Denmark, 275. That's a whole lot of red plates for a second attempt. PB attempt of 5.
Nice fight, I must say.
Yeah, we were expecting a 12. He went with a 15. The bar significantly slowed down. 3 white lights, but I would tend to think that he's fast until he stops. I mean, I don't think he's much of a grinder judging by his squat.
I don't want to jinx him or something like that, but when you change the technique, you know, you're maybe a bit scared of grinding through because you don't know if you have it or not. So yeah, let's see it.
You haven't gathered enough data on that new technique. Now Tomas Votava, Czechia, 275, jump of 12.5. He bounces right up. Seems very happy with that one. 3 white lights.
He's on fire today for sure.
And just going out the platform with a smile. I think he's gonna load up at least another 7.5.
Maybe even a 10. Let's see.
Now Soren Madsen, Denmark, 277.5, jump of 12.5. This is his current PB. Keep in mind, it was a 2-to-1 last time around with 1 blue coming from the left side. Couldn't quite figure out why. Maybe soft hips or knees while presenting the bar at lockout. Our ref are going to pay close attention to that right now. How does that look to you?
Currently good. Strong second attempt.
2-to-1, this time for a different reason. Double whites from the side, but 1 red from the front for lack of depth.
The bar is loaded on the platform from Czechia, Miroslav Negash.
It looks good to me.
Now Miroslav, 285, jump of 15.
Oh, jury has overruled the last one.
Jury's overruled the previous lifts. No lift for Soren Madsen. I must say that this is quite a surprise. But in the meantime, Miroslav squats 285 with ease, or yet to see the ruling of that squat. It's going to be a 2-to-1, a good lift. 1 blue coming from the left hand side. Kyriakos Mikael, 285. You were expecting a big jump. I would say this is a big jump.
Yeah, that's actually a very big jump.
Let's see, he got 1 red last time around.
Strong fight. Again, 1 red call from the left side.
Yeah, that same exact ruling, the red coming from the same side. Consistency on the left. Maybe he looks a bit poor on his right side.
Yeah, that might be the case because sometimes you can have one hip higher than the other one.
And jury's overruled the previous squat. So they did think that it was a bit asymmetrical, but too high on the right side. No lift. So back-to-back overrules.
Jury is on fire today.
292.5 for Lano Placekovic.
This is actually Croatian national record attempt. I'm ablaze. squats with ease.
More to the under. And 3 white lights.
3 white lights, a good lift, new national record. And now it's time to extend it.
Do you believe in a 300?
To the final round.
Yeah, I would say so.
I think you're just Croatian.
No, I'm just objective.
So he holds on to that provisional first position in the squad event of the 93s with the A group yet to compete. Keep in mind that the A group will take place at 5:30 later on today. So Soren Madsen already back on the platform. He's added a 2.5 to his 277.5 that got taken away by the jury. He wants a personal best on the day. Just need a tad bit more depth maybe.
Yeah, that's why they put a 2.5 kilo more. Maybe just mindset setting, something like that. To squat a bit deeper, 280. Maybe a big milestone for him. Oh, what a fight! Right on the limit. Let's see the depth. Ow.
Double blues this time.
Coach can approach the jury.
Something's not properly locked out apparently.
Maybe knees. There could be nothing else because bar didn't go down.
I'm not seeing the knees from that angle, but keep in mind that our refs on the platform are much closer than we are. And it also could be the hips. When looking at another angle, it could look different. Jury seems satisfied with the ruling, so they are seeing the same thing.
Yeah, the thing is, jury has to be unanimous to change the decision of the lift. So maybe there was one referee going for it and two not, or vice versa.
Daniel Emil Hussein, Denmark, 280. Jump of 5 for that same amount of a personal best. Let's see if he can surpass that sticking point.
Up. Even easier than a second one.
And he still looks fast under the bar. 3 white lights, new personal best for him. It's in Denmark.
I think he will stick on with a lower technique, for sure.
Yeah, I would advise him to, for sure.
The bar is loaded from Austria. Rene
Now the Austrian Reinhofer, 282.5, just collecting attempts. His first step back on the international platform since 2022.
Game on, Rene.
Nice and controlled, great attempt selection, and pretty snappy at lockout. He might have had more. 3 white lights.
Maybe he just wants to secure that all 3 attempts, not go too far away and save himself for deadlifts maybe.
We have 4 more attempts to go, 3 of which are in the 300s. But first off, Tomáš Votava, Czechia, 285, looking to match his personal best. We were saying and alluding to a 7.5. He's going with the 10. I think he has a strong shot.
Let's see it. Maybe too much of the greed. I hope not.
Yeah, I'm not betting against this guy.
Again.
Yeah, he might have been good for a personal best. 3 white lights, some solid lifting happening.
Third attempts even moving faster than second ones.
Yeah, looking bouncy. And plenty of depth. Made sure that this one was going to count. Now in the 300s we go with Miroslav Nečas, Czechia.
Is this actually the first 300 squat of the competition?
And he's doing so with back-to-back 15 kg jumps. Linear strategy that leads to a 300 squat for Team Czechia.
Fighting it through. What a fight! Not stopping.
I mean, 3 white lights, feeling at home on the platform with the Czech spotters. That was the extra kilos he needed. The support coming from these guys for each and every nation. They are not playing favorite with the Czechs, which is awesome. But as a Czech, when you're stepping up to that platform, fitting your guys around you, that's a boost. 2 more squats to go. This one is also 300. You saw this one coming for Blaze.
I knew it. He came up to this competition just to squat 300. I'm sure for that. He's fired up as hell. Come on.
300 it is for Blaze. 3 white lights, new personal best of 7.5. That's one massive squat as a
He's like
93.
a lion. Huge congrats to him. New national record. Pushing 93s in Croatia in the 300s for a squat event. That was a huge one actually, historical.
And final squat of the B group for the 93s is Kyriakos Mikhail. Who cares about a jury overrule? Who cares about a 285 squat? This guy wants a personal best. He's shooting for 302.5.
He's going for a national Cyprus record in squat, so let's see how it moves. Let's go. Ella.
No way! Super close. And great way to stay with the bar. Save our spotters. No lift, but it was a reasonable attempt. He had a shot at that 302.5. And
He
I
looks
must admit, for a second, I thought he had it.
Yeah, for sure, but now he walks away from the platform holding himself on a hip, so I hope he's not injured for deadlifts.
Yeah, I think
Let's see.
he's just a bit gassed out. We'll see that later on. We'll be back in about 9 minutes time for bench press. First off, the 69s and then the 93s. See you then. And just like that, the break in between squat and bench is over. We are back in action live from St. Julian's, Malta for the 2026 European Open Classic Powerlifting Championships. Brought to you by Maniac Fitness, main sponsor of the EPF. We've seen a great squat session from both weight classes, both group, the 69s and the 93s. We're back for bench press, openers ranging from 85 to 100. Biggest opener belonging to Clara Olo from Belgium after collecting one big squat of 170. Not the biggest squat though out of this group, because someone being Sabina Matrik squatted 192.5. That's one fantastic squat for a B group member in the 69s. First athlete out is Chiara Callens, Belgium, 85. Went 2 for 3 in the squat, squatted 155, missed out only on 2.5 with her final squat.
Let's see. Let's keep the momentum going. A bit longer wait for press, but still 3 white lights, a good lift.
The bar is loaded on the platform from Slovenia.
Nusa Jelesnik, 87.5. Squatted 180. She's opening quite far for personal best of 102.5.
Maybe just a safe opener and then go up.
Seems safe indeed. 3 white lights.
Yeah, that's actually what you maybe want to do when you haven't done the preparation on this kind of bench, and then you get a very easy opener just to get the feeling of the bench itself, and then see how the flow goes.
Mattia Bumba, 87.5.
Ale Matea.
Oh, it's a grinder already.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening on back there. I hope she's not injured, although she likes to open on a heavier side, but this is maybe a bit too heavy. Let's see. I would go 2.5 up.
Now we have a spotter's dream, 3 attempts at the same weight. 90 kilos for Sarah, Nana and Sabina. So
This flight is already pretty quick, and even this is gonna fasten it up even more.
But I would say bench press is one of those movements that requires the least amount of rest, I would say.
I would completely agree. Very nice opener, quick and tidy. I've heard that she has a twin that's identical to her, so I'm hoping the twin is not on the platform from bench press regarding the squat event.
You send the bench specialist for the bench and the deadlift specialist for deadlifts? Yeah, that's fair. But if they're twins, they should be squatting the same and deadlifting the same, right?
Yeah, but maybe the strength is not the same, maybe only the looks.
Nana Mumgaard, Denmark, 90 kilos.
What a grinder.
Yeah, one tough opener again.
Yeah, that's what I thought after waiting such long for a start command. Yeah, one yellow light.
Yeah, so yellows could be either for technical foul, some sort of lifting of the glutes, the head, the heels, or a missed command. I think our chief ref might have thought that she re-racked early, but she didn't.
Maybe the heels were touching the bench. Maybe, I'm not sure, because
Yeah, I don't
feet
think
haven't
so
moved.
from what we've seen on the replay.
Yeah, the yellow card is pretty complicated because it covers 9 different things and it's pretty hard to see it.
Sabina Materek, Poland, 90 kilos, penultimate opener. 3 white lights, a good lift.
Strong squat, strong bench.
The final attempt of this round. Matea Bumba is up next.
Yeah, strong leg drive, but no upper body thrust. So this is completely acceptable. It fits the new rule book.
Yeah, by the new rule book, you're not allowed to thrust the bar with your whole body, but still you can sink it a bit into the chest.
Now the phenomenal squat grinder Clara Olo from Belgium, opening with 100 kilos. Opening at a personal best, but personal best that was set in the 63s, not in the 69s. She's gotten way stronger since then.
Very tidy technique, I must say.
Very comfortable, 3 white lights. I'm not expecting the same kind of jump as she did on squats, but I would be comfortable adding 5.
Yeah, for sure. There is a 5 for second attempt.
Yara Kalens is up next. The bar is loaded on the platform from Croatia, Matea Bumba.
So now we're having Matea Bumba from Croatia, 90 kilos, 2.5 kilo jump, as we thought. Let's go, Matea. You have it, come on. Oh, we can see a sliding of her feet a bit.
So do you think that right foot is touching the rack? I don't think so. She's receiving the command.
Okay, good one. Pretty heavy, but still.
I mean, we know that a close grip can grind the 3 white lights. I think the only move now is adding another 2.5 and see if you can make the magic happen on the bench.
Yeah, there's nothing else to do, I would say. Maybe she didn't adapt for her opener, for the bench itself. Maybe it's too stiff for her. I'm not quite sure. Because bench press is a very technical event. So yeah, even a millimeter can make a huge change.
Chiara Callens, Belgium, 90 kilos, jump of 5. And still looking at ease with that amount of weight. 3 white lights. Why not go for another 5? I mean, at that point, she's not looking to struggle at all.
Depends what you actually want from that third attempt. If you want to really try to extend the whole total itself, sorry, subtotal, then maybe yeah, go for it. But if you want to be completely safe, 2.5 is the correct choice. Because 2.5 kilo jump is actually a lot, so don't be shy to put 2.5 kilos in between your second and third attempt.
A quick good luck fist bump in between the spotters and Nusha, 92.5, jump of 5.
Oh, what a fight. Stays with the bar.
And
We got
this
one
look-
yellow card.
This looks more like a third attempt to me.
I would agree, but you never know. The third attempt can sometimes feel lighter than a second one.
And I would think that the glutes are up in the air. Jury's looking at it. They are confirming what our left side ref saw. Jury's
for sure.
overruled. No lift.
So regarding that, I would probably just repeat the attempt.
Yeah, 100%. Nana Malmgaard, Denmark, 92.5, jump of 2.5.
Ladies and gentlemen, his attention jury has overruled the referee's decision, and the previous attempt is noted.
She's gonna get replaced.
Yep.
Yep.
You saw that live. She's gonna get replaced for the feet touching the rack, touching the bench.
She has 10 more seconds to get the star command.
It slid again, or I think it's touching again. She's receiving the start command,
No,
but she's
unfortunately.
collapsing. No lift. I don't think she realizes what's going on.
That's why you have your coach.
It doesn't seem like the coach knows either. They're yeah, they seem clueless as they walk out the platform. Maybe they should look at the replay for themselves. I think it's pretty clear to see on the replay. Sara Blahova, Slovakia, 95 kilos, jump of 5. This one's a matched PB.
Matching personal best on second attempt. Seems good to me. Very efficient.
Yeah, and it does not move like your personal best. That's very much a second. There's room for a third.
And now the question is, do we go for the holy grail 100 kilo bench press or go safe with 97.5?
That's a good question. I think the milestone of 100 adds extra motivation, but it's also more of a risk. You have to think about the risk-reward ratio of it. I think I would go for the 100.
Yeah, 100 is 100, you know?
Yeah. Sabina Matarek, jump of 5, that's 95 kilos, a PB of 2.5.
Oh, what a fight.
A second attempt. Once again, it looks more like a third. 3 white lights, a good lift. Where do you go from there, Luca?
You just put 2.5 more and hope for the best, basically.
And push for the best.
You can say it like that also, yeah.
105 for Clara Olo to guarantee herself the biggest bench press out of the B group. Personal best on the platform of 5 kilos. She's a grinder, she has heart, and she did not look like she was struggling with 100. This is a very believable second attempt for Clara Olo. This one's just to showcase the fact that moving up the 69 was the right way to go. Oh, I think she pushed maybe a bit too vertical up the chest.
Yeah, I would say so. She pushed in front of herself, not behind herself, as the perfect bar path is. Let's see from the side.
I think that's what she seems to be signaling as she walks off the platform, telling her handler of the day,
Yeah, she
I know
pushed-
what
yeah.
to correct, I know what happened, I can make this attempt 100%.
And now the question is, do you go 107 or repeat 105 if you know what's wrong?
I mean, I think you can only go 105. Would you go 107.5?
I mean, you said she's a fighter, so...
She's
and
not
that she can grind
delusional.
through it.
Now Nusha retaking 92.5. Last time around she had the glutes up in the air. She looked good for it, but can she maintain all points of contact?
Let's just repeat the same thing without the glutes off. Come on, come on!
Not today, I guess.
The bar is loaded on the platform from Denmark, Nana Momgaard.
92.5 for Nana Momgaard. Also a retake of the second round. Considering she has a PB of 97.5, missing 92 was a surprise, but it was a technical issue. She had to place herself and set up twice, which takes a toll on her body, and mentally it takes you away from the lift too. Oh, the feet's touching the bench this time. Side ref has accepted the position. But strength is just not there. Having to wait for such a long time.
That's what I thought, yeah. When you have to wait for such a long time to get the start command, you just get burned off basically. And yeah, there's nothing you can do there.
Yeah, so once again, side ref is signaling that he cannot accept that starting position with one of the feet touching.
Yeah, rules are the rules. Very clear.
Yeah.
Matea Bumba now?
It is never personal. It's just the
No,
rules.
it's completely objective all the time.
92% for 92%. No, 92.5 kilos for Mattia Bumba, Croatia.
Close grip. Let's see it. Oh, Matea.
Grind incoming.
Come on. Push it through. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Ah, so close.
I know you felt for your fellow Croatian, but that does not happen today. No lifts. Next up, representing Belgium, Kiara Kalins. 95 kilos, back to back with the fives, just slightly below a personal best of 97.5.
Ladies and gentlemen, attention please, only one attempt left to change over opponent group.
Come on, push it through.
Just like in the squat, she's gonna go 2 for 3. It was worth risking it. Our second attempt looked very convincing, so loading her 5 was not delusional. But we're missing a successful attempt. 3 more attempts to get one in the third round of bench press. 97.5 twice. The first one for Sara Blaova, second one for Sabina Materek. Slovakia and Poland going at it for the second biggest bench press.
So
of
Sarah
the
is
B
not
group.
going for 100. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, but it's already a personal best on the platform.
Oh, what a fight! Perfect attempt selection, I would say.
Yeah, that was the move.
Very clean.
That was the way to go. Great attempt selection.
So 100 has to wait for next time.
It's going to be a second attempt by next time.
Maybe even the opener.
Now you're getting greedy now. 2 more attempts to go before we move into the 93B group. Sabina and Clara, 97.5 for Sabina Materek.
Let's go, Sabina.
Controlled aggression with the leg drive. Nah, it's not going to go through.
Unfortunate, yeah.
That transition phase just too difficult with that amount of weight. No lift.
Yeah, actually, that's the problem when you, let's say, depend on the leg drive while you press. You have to time it perfectly to execute like this type of percentage. So around 100% of your bench press. So yeah.
Now it is time for revenge for Clara Olo. Missed out on 105 in the second round. I must say this was a surprise miss, but she seemed to know what to correct as she walked off the platform. Now she's back. Time for the best setup possible, for the best outcome possible. 105 for Team Belgium and Clara Olo.
She knows us wrong. Let's just fix it. Push the bar back. Let's go.
Find a way, Clara.
Come on. You have it. You have it. What a fight.
3 white lights. She gets it. And we told you, the spotters are with everyone. We can see them cheer on. Look at our spotter on the right.
That's the spirit. That's the spirit.
Okay, once again, shouts out to the spotters. They're the best.
They were spotting me in Lithuania, if I remember well. Or
Yes.
They have. Yeah, I remember they were really close to myself while I was squatting, but they were not helping. You know, they were there. You know.
They're some of the best in the game, and this is why there are the spotters spotting at Sheffield too. When
Yeah,
you're
I saw
spotting
them there also.
400 kg squats, you need to be on top of your game.
They are surely there.
So Clara closed the bench press event of the 69 in the best way possible, getting her personal best on the platform with 105. We're now back in the 93s with Mr. Blaze, who squatted 300. He's opening at 155.
He said me that he's going for his personal best at best today, so around 170 we are shooting for. Let's see how the opener moves. Fastest under. 3 white lights, a good lift. Good job, Blaze. Now let's add up, I would say 7.5.
Yeah, I mean, that was as fast as an opener is going to get. So look, whatever you want.
Maybe even 165?
I mean, you know him better than I do. Kyriakos Mikael Cyprus 155. Unfortunately, he lost out on a lot of kilos. Only 1 for 3 in the squat. Second attempt got overruled. Missed the third on strength. He needs to regain some momentum, and he does just that with that opener.
This is exactly how the opener should move on bench press.
Yeah, hopefully his mentals are still there, because the trajectory of his competition has not been the best so far.
You lose a lot of kilos on your total if you go with that kind of attempt selection. So yeah, it can, let's say it like that, kill you a bit in your mentality.
Yeah, he was willing to risk it for the biscuit. Was not
He
able
didn't go
to
the
eat
biscuit,
after
that's the
squat.
problem.
Yeah. Was not able to eat after squat. May he hits in the bench press. Now Soren Madsen 157.5, representing Denmark.
Oh, slipping off a bit. Still quick.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to phase him at all. 3 white lights, he's on the board.
The thing is, when you have this type of chest and big muscle to move the bar, you're not really dependent on positioning that much.
And he
your
still
legs are
managed to
elastic.
maintain a proper arch too.
Yeah, we can see that clearly.
Now Miroslav Necas, Czechia 160.
I don't know which attempt is quicker, mate. Every single one is very quick. 3 white lights, a good lift. I would add 10 more on this one, for sure. Also very clean technique.
Rainer for Australia 165. PB bench of 175. Could this be one jump away?
Let's wait and see. I hope so.
I believe it could.
Yeah. I will go 7.5 to be honest.
No, it's also a solid jump to establish pace for a third. I can agree with that.
It all depends how do you want to pace your whole competition actually. So you have many ways to do the comp, you know. So we'll wait a bit and see.
Tomáš Votava, Czechia 175. He's had a solid squat session, went 3 for 3, matched his personal best of 285. Can he do the same thing in the bench press event, PB being 190?
He definitely can.
Yep. 3 white lights. He's not just looking good in the squat, he's also looking good in the bench press event. Now the bar is loaded for Daniel Levenhuising, Denmark, 177.5, final opener for this B group of 93s.
I would say that we are slowly approaching the medal area. Would you agree?
I wouldn't, to be fair. I think the medals are going to be in the 197.5s and up. But the Christian Ayundokun is going to be benching in the 207, 210s, maybe even more. So I think, even though he looks good, 3 white lights, I think it's going to be a big ask to go and try and reach for a medal.
The best you can do is just lift 3 out of 3 and see maybe A group extends a lot, misses. You know,
Do your
in
best in the
competition,
B.
everything can happen.
Do your best in the B group, get some popcorn, get in the crowd for the A group and hope for the best. second attempts are going to be ranging from 162.5 to at least 185. And the first one out is Kyriakos Mikael from Cyprus. 162.5 is a 7.5 kg jump for him.
Good work, good fight.
Very nice attempt for Kyriakos.
Do you think he goes for his personal best of 170?
Regarding his attempt selection on squat, I would say so, but let's wait and see what he puts on attempt selection paper.
Yeah, once again, there's a lesson to be learned from that squat event. Soren Madsen, 165, jump of 7.5. Very specific setup. You're allowed to touch the rack with your hands. You're not allowed to touch it with your feet. Great catch by the media team now. We want to see those angles.
Still not struggling a bit, you know?
Yeah, that's very fast for a match personal best. I think the only way to go is 170 now.
The bar is loaded. On the platform from Croatia.
Next up, Leonardo Mr. Blaze, 165.
As you said, 10 kilo jump. He's probably aiming for 172.5 then, just to get new personal best.
Yeah, time to rev the engine to prove you're good for a massive personal best on the third.
Taking his time to set up. Armor Blaze. Oh, it's a fight.
A difficult transition. He looks strong, but it seems like he lacked control. 3 white lights, but that was 1 tough second.
I think he just said to his coach, that's it.
Do you think he's not going to be coming out for the third?
I'm sure he'll come out, but 2.5 is the most. Yeah, they just gave a attempt selection paper to the...
They knew beforehand.
Yeah.
Miroslav Nechas, Czechia, 170, jump of 10. Let's see it. PB is 177.5.
He didn't even feel that jump of 10 kilos.
But I'm sure we're gonna be seeing an increment of 5, but I'm not sure about the 7.5 to match his PB.
I would agree 7.5 would be a bit of a stretch, so 5 would be the safe bet.
I mean, lifters have a tendency to find that extra gear for a third attempt, so there's a possibility, but I would not be comfortable loading it personally.
Also, you had the most attempts on that new bench if you haven't been on it prior to the competition.
Ryan Alpha, Austria, 172.5, jump of 7.5.
Slowed up a bit, but I would say, yeah, it's a good lift. 3 white lights.
And that same question again, do you go for a match PB by adding 2.5 or do you go for a personal best by adding 5? Is it worth the risk?
I would say, looking from his squat attempt selection, he's gonna go for safe 2.5.
Or maybe since he was not in the best shape possible in the squat, he's going to be sending it in the bench press. It's also depending on the psychology of the athlete.
Psychology of the athlete and also the attempt selection of the head coach. So you have 2 fires, you know?
Thomas Votava, Czechia, 182.5, jump of 7.5. Still looking comfortable, he's spacing himself nicely. 3 white lights.
And 187
No sorts of technique breakdown. Wrists are fine. The arch is fine. Pretty symmetrical. And match PB is believable. Daniel Emil Using, Denmark, 187.5.
Going for his personal best.
Whoa, he has a lot to work with.
It's a fight.
Jumping 10 was a risky move. Straight to his personal best and he misses.
I would say the best they can do is just repeat the attempt and find what the issue is. I would say he lost a bit of tension on the chest when he lowered the bar down to the chest. But let's see if he can make up something for the third attempt.
Kyriakos Mikhail opening the third round of bench press for the 93s. 165, jump of 2.5 after a difficult second.
I would say a reasonable jump for sure. Looking on 162 for the previous attempt, this was exactly the right one. Pame. Nice one. Hell of a fight. 3 white lights, a good lift. Good job, Kyriakos. Good job, Grizzly.
Grizz is a good nickname too. We have a few good nicknames on this flight.
The bar is loaded on the platform from Croatia. Leonard
Grizzly and now the Blaze.
Yep, back to back. Cool named athletes on the platform. 167.5 for Leano Blaze.
Unfortunately, he won't go for his personal best. But you know, he's on European Championship collecting kilos. Collecting actually the biggest total ever in Croatia. We will see it for sure on deadlifts.
Yeah, for that he'll need a solid deadlift session. But no better way to set up your deadlift session than with a 3 for 3 in the bench for good confidence.
To continue the momentum from squat. I'm a Blaze.
For a 6 for 6, a juicy subtotal.
Come on, push it up, let's go, you have it, come on.
I think the bar started to dip. Got saved by these spotters, no lift. So 5 for 6, but only loses it out on 2.5.
Would you even say losing the cup is just the best he could do? You know, there's nothing else you can do after RP 9.99 second attempt.
Soren Madsen, 117 jump of 5 for that same amount of a personal best.
Come on.
Once again, a slight collapse. He loses his elbow positioning at the bottom, enables the press, no lift.
Once you lose the position on bench press, you know it's done. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, joint stacking is so important. Stacking your wrists, your elbows, your shoulders to be able to press is key. Could not do that this time around.
Yeah,
No lift.
the ideal path is so thin, and you have to get it every single time.
Rainer of Austria, 175. A jump of 2.5 to match his personal best.
Yeah, he's playing it safe, I would say.
Still doesn't mean the lift is guaranteed. He's gonna have to work for it.
Come on. He definitely earned it.
Correct attempt selection. 3 white lights, 3 for 3, 6 for 6.
Rooting himself for a strong deadlift session.
I mean, he's on a 6 for 6. Only white lights so far. Some clean lifting out of Team Austria.
He knows the rule book.
Miroslav Nečas, Czechia, 177.5, jump of 7.5. Straight to his personal best, but that's a massive jump.
Miroslav,
Let's see if it was worth it.
final attempt from Miroslav,
Yeah, I would
147.5.
tend to think this is a 50-50 lift. Make it 51-49.
Oh, what a fight!
Great fight.
He made it 51.
Yep, 3 white lights.
It's a good lift for
And you know the saying, had a fly landed on that bar, you would not have gotten the attempt.
I think I've heard that many times, yeah.
Denmark Tomas
And that's exactly how I explained the situation.
to lift this.
Now a retake from the second round, a surprise miss from Daniel Emil Jusing, Denmark, 187.5.
I hope he found out what was the problem in a setup.
Yeah, it's either he gets a personal best of 2.5 or he stays on his opener.
Come on, Denmark, make some noise.
Come on, 10 kilos on your total. Ah, it's easy one.
Some movement in the glute area, but the glutes never left the bench. 3 white lights, new personal best, and in the end, it's 187.5. That's going to remain on the score sheet. Nicely done.
There's nothing better than personal best on a bench press on international event.
I fully trust you with that. Final bench press for the 93Bs, 187.5. Not a personal best for Tomas Botaba, but he hasn't skipped a beat so far, so I fully trust him with that attempt selection. Now,
Was
you know what?
this a second attempt? Or?
He might have had that 190. 3 white lights, 6 for 6.
Huge congrats.
Yeah, solid lifting happening from Mr. Votava and Team Czechia. The bench press session of the 93s was much cleaner than the one we've seen in the 69. Usually that's the other way around.
Only 3 misses in the whole bench press event on a men's side, so huge congrats to the boys.
And hopefully a clean deadlift session to come. We'll see that in about 9 minutes time, Luca. See you then.
See you.
Alex and Luca back live from St. Juliet's Malta for the 2026 European Open Classic Powerlifting Championship presented by Maniac Fitness. Time for your favorite show, deadlifts.
Exactly, that's what we were waiting for. The whole competition is coming up now, and
A pretty tight range of openers for the B group of 69 from 175 to 185. That's super packed. Usually we see bigger ranges like from the 155s to the 190s. These ladies are stacked together. It's difficult to predict who's going to walk away with the biggest deadlift of this group.
so it's for sure gonna be interesting.
Yeah, 100%. First lift out will be Nusha Jelesnik from Slovakia, 175.
No, Sara Blachova, sorry.
So maybe I was something wrong with the screen. That's on the other side of the room.
Yeah, the systems are not synchronized. So this is Nusha for sure, from Slovenia, attempting 175 kilos.
So I was right in the end.
Yes, you were.
Would you say that's an easy opener for Nusha?
That's how the opener on deadlift should look like. Quick.
Same opening attempt for Sablova. PB deadlift of 195, so 175 should fly.
On first attempt on a deadlift, you just want to secure your total, get something light on, and then prepare for the second one and the last pull. That was really quick.
Yeah.
And snappy as well. I thought she would maybe lose the balance or move the bar up and down. That's disqualification actually for no lift, blue card. But fortunately, it was all good.
Once again, same opening attempt, 175. This one's for Karakalens, Belgium. As an up and down day, 2 for 3 in the first two events. Hopefully a different outcome in the deadlift event. You can see the 175 being thrown around with different stances, from conventional to a very wide sumo, but still easy work. 3 white lights.
Yes, you as an athlete, you're free to choose the stance of your width of your stance. Sorry, so you can differ in between conventional or sumo stance. Although some lifters like to use the frog stance, so something in between.
Next up, Nana Momgaard, Denmark, 177.5. She lost down a lot of kilos in the bench press events. Struggling to set up properly. No real setup here. So no issues. Only one command, the down one, and she receives it quite quickly. 3 white lights.
It looked a bit slower maybe from the beginning of the lift, but that's how the sumo actually should look like. So the heaviest part of the movement should be on the bottom.
Yeah, for some lifters with wide stance in the sumo, floor is the sticking point.
Yeah, for sure, because that's the hardest part of the movement to get the bar moving up, because you're standing so wide and the leverages are not on your side on the floor.
Yeah, the thing is with sumo, you don't only want to get into position, you want to be able to produce force in that position. Well, we're
That's
going to
true.
see another sumo. This one is Clara Olo, Belgium, 182.5. 117 the squat, 105 new personal best in the bench press event. She hasn't deadlifted 200 in competition yet. I know that's the goal today.
She's set for that goal for sure.
It might not be a second, but it seems very within reason today, judging by the speed on that 182.5.
Yeah, I would go for 192, let's say, something like that, and then shoot for 200.
Yeah, but she told me that she had troubles like waking up, feeling alive on the platform for the 6 first attempts, but she had change a bit of her caffeine intake, some more caffeine in the engine, and she's gonna be revving on the platform.
Matea Bumba, 182. Nice opener. Good job,
that-
Matea.
Nice and easy. 3 white lights. She doesn't seem to be in the best shape of her life today. Seems a bit disappointed with missing her final squat, missing one bench.
I actually saw her, talked to her in the warm-up. She had last warm-up of 180 actually. So they lowered the opener because the firstly selected one was too much. So yeah, she's not the best shape today.
Final opener, Sabina Matrek, 185 for the Polish. Very close to her PB of 190.
That's what I told you. Slow from the bottom, but very quick lockout.
Yeah,
That's
what-
what sumo is.
Once she pushes her knees outwards, that bar catches some momentum and it makes for an easy lockout. Look at the knees on the replay, Luca. Outwards, some speed, and an easy lockout.
Yeah, the problem with sumo is that you're like too far away from the bar in the beginning of the lift, so that's why it's heavy from the floor.
The bar is loaded.
Beginning of the second round with Chiara Callens, Belgium, jump of 7.5.
These socks look stunning, I must say.
Three white lights, a good lift. Her PB is 190. She hasn't been able to reproduce her top end lifts today, so surely they're going to adapt again. Maybe 187.5. I could see the 190, but it's going to be risky.
Yeah, but I mean, it depends how you want to pace the game. If she's fighting for some places, then I will go for the maybe even for the extension, because then you're pushing your competitors.
Yeah, I mean, in a B group, I'm willing to risk for that 190. Nusha 185, jump of 10. This should be easy again, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, very nice. 3 white lights, it's a good lift. I would put maybe 7.5 more. Maybe even 5.
She's a deadlift monster usually, but I think I could agree with you here.
Lockout looks pretty light actually. That's usually not the case on conventional.
Sablova also jumping 10 from 175 to 185. Her opener looked very easy, very comfortable. How about this one? It looks like a proper second to me.
Yeah, proper second attempt I would say. Because on a second you don't really want to go all out. You want to leave some place for the second attempt, and also you don't want to go too light because then the third one is too far away. So
But speed can be deceiving when conventional pullers. A conventional can get real grindy.
so that's why you as a coach have to know your athlete, so then you know what to put on the bar for the last one.
Nana Momgaard, Denmark, 185, jump of 7.5.
Whoa, what a fight! And she haven't lost the position. So clean. 3 white lights, it's a good lift.
190 kilos for Matrek for bar representing Croatia. Sabina Matrek.
Very efficient, I must say.
Still, yes, very efficient, but difficult to read how much she has left in the tank. I'm not so sure. This is a very singular type of technique. Down to Matea Bumba. Croatia 190, jump of 7.5, just as you predicted.
Yeah, I think she found out the rhythm. Also on a heavier side for the second attempt.
Yeah, 2-1, a good lift. One blue from the front, might be for supporting on the thighs. Usually when both side referees agree that it was not supporting on the thighs, you'd be fine. I think it's a pause. I think it struggled against the thighs for sure, but I'm not seeing support.
Yeah, you're seeing well.
Sabina Matrek, Poland, 192.5, jump of 7.5 for a personal best of 2.5.
Oh, it's a fight. Nice one.
It's gonna be a new personal best, 3 white lights. She's very happy with that one. Hopefully she has one more in the tank.
Honestly, I would just go for 195 and see if it's there or not.
Nah, probably would load more, and I think they're gonna do just that. Now, final attempt of the second round. This one belongs to Clara Olo, Belgium, 197.5, jump of 15. A second attempt just to try and secure a new personal best in competition, and then see if we're good for more than 200.
She looks fired up.
She's fully awake now. Time to unleash the beast. 197.5, personal best in competition. She does it. 3 white lights, but job's not done.
Still one attempt left. Load it up.
What do you load up? 202, 205?
205 for sure.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, you want the yellows on there.
of course I won.
So that's gonna be the end of the second round. We have 7 more attempts in the 69 before we jump into the 93s. Still leading the class is Sabina Matrek, but trailed by Clara Olo from Belgium. They're gonna be neck and neck by the end of the round to see who tops out the B group.
Ajde, Nusha.
Yeah, Nosha, 190 jump of 5.
Come on, push it.
She tilts onto her heels, not a position in which you're able to express a lot of strength into the bar. No lift.
Yeah, your quads are not really in the good position when you're on heels, and then there's no leverage to push through. So you basically push up the hips, yeah, and lost the position.
Sara Blauva, Slovakia, 190 jump of 5. This one's to match her personal best. This would give her 445 in a total. For a PB total of 2.5. Yeah, it's not there on the day.
Yeah, glued on the floor.
And sometimes it happened. It was a fast-paced meet for these ladies. Only 7 of them. Fast spotters. It made for 5 minutes of rest maximum between attempts. It's difficult not to run out of steam.
For
by the
sure,
ninth attempt.
you're not pacing your warm-ups while you're training as that. So it's up to you to adapt on the platform on the day. But it's same for you as for your other athletes. So
Absolutely. Nana Mumgaard, Denmark, 190 jump of 5. PP of 197.5, so 190 should be within reach.
she's ready for it.
Come on, Nana, you got it.
Another one of those attempts that are staying glued to the ground.
Maybe spotters put some magnets under the platform.
I don't know. We're gonna see if they place it in the same position on the carpet. Who knows? Next up, Chiara Callens, Belgium, 190 to match her personal best. It's a jump of 7.5. She has not gone 3 for 3 so far, but this one's very believable. For 435 in total, provisional 8th position.
She's fighting for it. Is it locked out?
You know what? within the previous rulebook, I would 100% agree that this is not locked out. But now with the new rulebook, your shoulders need to be behind the imaginary projection of the bar, and I think she does just that. There's discussions to be held there. If I was the coach, I would have rushed to the jury.
The thing is, she wasn't locked out overall in between her hips, knees, and that. So yeah,
Now on the platform is Sabina Materek, Poland 195, jump of 2.5 for a personal best of that same amount.
Come on, Sabina, you got it. Come on.
I think she tried to emphasize her hip shoot too much speed on the hips.
when you have a sumo technique of deadlifts, then you really have to be precise. It's pretty similar as when you have really wide bench press
Yeah.
grip. So
With that kind of sumo, you need to be patient off the ground. When you try to put too much speed in your hips, usually that does not work in your favor.
but if you're patient, it rewards you.
Yep. Matea Bumba, Croatia 195, jump of 5.
Ajde, Matea.
Provisional 6th position with the A group yet to compete.
Ajde. Push through it. Come on.
I might have gone with some more baby powder to fight through that.
For sure, yeah. If she had more baby powder, maybe she could grind it out, because she grinded out 200 back home. So yeah, back then she had more baby powder. Yeah.
And the time changes came in for Clara Olo. It was supposed to be 202.5, but they've put in 205. You know what? This is for the lead of the B group, because 480 belongs to Matarek. 202 would have given her 477.5. She wants 480 being lighter on body weight. She would lead the B group. And would you look at that? She's a different beast now. This is the 9th and final attempt. 205, massive personal best of 7.5 to walk away with the lead of the B group, to show that she could have belonged in the A group. 69 is her new weight class. Count on her in the future. Can she lock it out? No, that does not happen. So 472.5 it is.
She gave it all for sure.
Yeah,
but yeah.
she went for it. She sent it for the lead of the B group. Unfortunately, she stays in provisional 2nd position. But 472.5 is still a nice total when you were nominated with 465.
That's a huge improvement for sure in between your platform
it-
total and
it's
qualification
still-
total.
It's still a Finnish lifter from the C group that has the biggest deadlift so far with 200. But we have multiple deadlift monsters in the A group. Marta Kenna, Marie-Josée Vandal, Andorina Bouchou. These ladies are going to be pushing the 220s, even 230s maybe.
There's nothing to be shy about. 205 deadlifts, so
Oh yeah, 100%. Now, interesting sights in the 93s. Unfortunately, Kyriakos Mikael is walking out for 70 kilos. Surely something happened. He lost out on too many kilos in the squat event, and maybe he feels like it's not worth it deadlifting, or maybe he tweaked something during the squat or during warm-ups. So he secures 1 attempt to have a total, but I don't think he's going to be coming out for the following attempts.
yeah, if I remember well, he walked out of the platform after squat holding his left hip. So maybe there is some issue with something around hip area, and maybe he cannot deadlift now properly. So maybe this is much safer thing to do, looking up long term. So yeah,
Before these boys in the B group from 93s, hopefully does not X out his next attempts, because it's going to make for a very short rest in between attempts. Maybe he puts something in like 220 so the spotters don't have to unload everything.
that would be pretty respectful from him.
265 from Tomas Votava, Czechia.
Come on, Thomas, you got it.
Easy
Speedy
opener.
opener.
An attempt and 3 wide drives for Thomas. 280 kilos for Miroslav Nečas, representing
Next up, Miroslav Nečas, Czechia, 280. PB deadlifter 300. This one should fly.
The bar is loaded. On the platform from Czechia, Miroslav Nečas. 280 kilos on the bar for Miroslav.
Finally walking up to the bar. Squatted 300, benched 177.5.
Amazing.
And this one already solidifies 757.5.
287.5 kilos for Soren Madsen, representing Denmark. René Hofer is up next.
Next up from Denmark, Soren Madsen, 287.5.
Soren Madsen.
Placing the bar where he wants it to be.
Taking his sweet time to set up. You have 1 minute to get that bar moving in the deadlift event. Only one command being the down command after locking out. And if I deadlifted like that, I would take my time to set up. 3 white lights.
That's how efficient sumo should look like. Taking your time to set up, getting calm, grab the bar, and just push the floor. You can actually see he lifted it with the slack. Crazy.
Yeah, crazy pulling power. Line it up for 297.5. Just not to say you opened at 300, but it's as close as it's gonna get.
You know, maybe it's a psychological thing. Crazy.
Yeah, he just stands up with it. 3 white lights. It seems like his deadlift has not been as affected as his squat.
Yeah, I think so, because while speaking to him, he said he's rooting for national record in deadlift. So it stands currently at 325.5.
We would love to see that.
Yeah, for sure. Not on the second attempt, but on the third one for sure.
Oh, we would love to see that on the second attempt.
You think? 27 kilo, oh, actually 30 kilo jump.
It's probably not happening, but we would love to see it.
That's true.
Daniel Emil Husing from Denmark, 300 kilos even.
Nice opener, 3 white lights. Pretty fast way to move 300 kilos up.
And guess who's closing the first round of deadlift? None other than Mr. Blaze with 302.5.
Mr. Blaze going up also for 325 as a national record. Let's see how this moves. I'm a Blaze. Nice.
That's super speedy.
Oh, 2-1, but still a good lift.
Lack of lockout, according to our left side ref. What could not be locked out here?
I know it looked locked up to me. Yeah.
I can understand. I mean, slight wobble at the top.
But that's the blue light, not the red light.
The bar never dipped, so it's a blue light when the bar dips down.
Yeah.
Here only the
True.
shoulders dip down. Maybe a slight unlock of the knees. I don't know. But it's neck and neck at the top between Rafael Betsis from Greece and the C group and Mr. Blaze from the B group with 302.5. Next up, spotters are forced to load at 72.5 for Kyriakos Mikhail. At least he didn't X out his attempt, so the minute is going to roll. But for the spotters, I would have loaded something in the 270s.
Yeah, 220 for sure.
Yeah. But the minute is going to roll, and I'm going to take this sweet time to thank one of our sponsors, SBD Strength, I believe, and Determination. Yes, would you believe that it doesn't mean squat, bench, and deadlift? One of the main sponsors of the EPF, providers of the equipment you're seeing on our spotters, great shirt. And also they've created a special edition t-shirt for this championship. You can find it here at the SBD booth. And of course, the best equipment on the planet for powerlifting: belt, wrist straps, knee sleeve, everything you can find at your local distributor SBD, either SBD Belgium, Bulgaria, France, Spain, SBD worldwide. So huge shouts out to SBD for sponsoring the EPF. The clock is ticking down, and next athlete out will be Tomas Votava from Czechia. 282.5. Quite a sizable jump of 17.5.
We will for sure see bigger jumps than on the ladies' side. As you deadlift more, you want to jump up more in between the attempts, so natural thing.
A lot of reds to stack up back onto the bar from 72.5 to 282.5. So once again, shouts out to our spotters. No misloads all championship long so far.
Don't jinx them.
Nah, these guys, I don't have that power. These guys, they're invincible. Elite spotting and loading crew. There we go, bars loaded, 282.5 for Tomas Votava in Czechia.
Nice execution. 3 white lights.
And the ground shakes as he drops down that bar.
I felt it here.
He made the whole booth shake. I'm glad he doesn't deadlift 400.
I would love to feel that vibrations.
Have you ever felt an earthquake?
Never actually. Is it similar?
Probably. Miroslav Netsas, Czechia, 300, a 20 kilo jump.
Nice second attempt.
Waiting on the light of our chief ref. Just a laser remote that happens, but 3 white lights.
Yeah, issues like that can happen.
Yeah,
I think we were there.
he was just looking too strong. You want to instill a bit of doubt in him. So in Madsen, 307.5. That's one massive deadlift for a second attempt. Jump of 20 kilos, 10 kgs shy of his personal best.
Again, moves the bar to the back part of the platform.
That same exact setup, just what we want to see. And that's a proper lockout to 3 white lights. I think it's good to at least match his personal best.
Now it's Rene Hofer putting 315 on the bar. So just 10.5 kilos shy of the Austrian national record. Asking the bar to be cleaned. So by the rule book, it's the bar should be cleaned only for the third attempt, unless someone wants it to be cleaned on the first or second attempt.
Yeah, and now it's fully written that the TC nor the chief referee cannot refuse. When you ask, you shall receive. So 315 for Einauer for Austria. You know what? I think he might have traded his squat for a huge deadlift personal best. To the one, a good lift. What could that yellow be for?
We are for sure gonna have a look. I haven't seen anything live, but jury has overruled it immediately. So he dropped the bar? No?
I don't think they think he didn't wait for the command, but usually when the chief ref said that he waited for the command, it should be fine. I have no clue at that time, but this is the only thing I can imagine. 320, Daniel Luseng, Denmark, jump of 20 kilos. He seems to have a few fans in the crowd, love that.
It's always nice to have the boys there.
Yeah. Even the B groups and C groups are bringing the vibes now. And the grip gives up on the bar on the right side. No lift, but I think it's just pulled his shoulders backwards too much. He made for too much friction against the thighs. It's going to take a toll on your grip while you do that.
Yeah, it's called actually hyperextension. I had problems with that back in the past. Yeah, just try not to push it too much, and that's basically it. Because you're basically fighting yourself, so why would you do that? 322.5 for Blaze. Just 2.5 kilos shy of the national record. It's easy. Come on, just lift it up.
Saying 322.5 is going to be easy is quite a statement. That's an interesting easy.
I told you magnets were there for sure.
I don't know what he could be complaining of right now.
Maybe the bar wasn't cleaned properly?
I think this bar seems pretty clean, but that's clear supporting on the thighs, and then the grip gives up on the bar.
Would you tell that he lost the position from the bottom of the lift?
Yeah, might be.
Not being patient enough.
But after missing a lift, you're not 100% lucid. You might be a bit emotional. Looking back at the lift, he's going to realize what went wrong, and maybe he's able to correct that for the third.
I'm hoping so.
Now Thomas Botava, Czechia, 295. PB attempt of 2.5 with that jump of 12.5. He matched his PB and the squat. Was super close to his PB bench, just 2.5 shy. He wants to correct that by adding 2.5 to his personal best deadlift for a match PB total.
And
he had to work for it, but 2-1 a good lift. One lack of lockout on the left hand side. So jury's gonna pay close attention to that replay. Knees locked out, hips locked out, shoulders locked out. It should be fine.
It should be fine, but maybe the thing they were looking for is the bar slipping out a bit.
That would be a red then.
That wouldn't be the red, yeah, of course. But the jury seems happy with it. Yeah.
Yeah, the lift will stand. We move on to Miroslav Netsas, Czechia, 307.5, jump of 7.5.
The bar is loaded. On the platform from Czechia, Miroslav Netsas.
307.5, let's go.
7.5 kilos personal best in 60
Massive
seconds.
personal best in the making.
Come on, Miroslav.
He's fired up.
Come on, come on, come on,
Come on, fight for it, fight for it.
Nice and solid third attempt from Miroslav. 3 white lights. That's 785 in total.
Huge congratulations.
Yep. No better way to end your day than a solid deadlift personal best.
So now we have Blaze coming out again for 322.
322.5, just 4 minutes after missing it. That might be a big ask for Blaze.
Yeah, that's the issue when you miss the second lift and you don't go up. All of the other guys have already went up, and then you can have a very short break in between second and third.
Yeah, this is why pacing yourself nicely is super important, especially in the deadlift event. And while the Danish is getting ready, Blaze is gonna come out fired up for 322.5.
Come on, Leonardo. Come on, Croatia.
He's coming out, yeah.
I think he hasn't realized that it was gonna be his time that quickly. But 40 seconds is plenty of time to get that bar moving.
Come on, 40 seconds, you have enough time.
And some more baby powders on the thighs to reduce friction.
Settle up.
Come on, Leonardo.
This is what you train for. Let's go.
That starting position is just not it once again.
Now I'm quite sure it was a starting position. He just couldn't get into the bar, as we say. So his hips just shoot up from the floor, as you can see now. And then after that, the only path you can take is just pull the bar up the knees, and that's basically it. You cannot pull it anymore.
But you know what? Sometimes when you PR your squat, you're a bit gassed out for deadlifts. So this is why you have to find that sweet balance while trying to construct your game plan. Going too far in the squat event is going to drop you back eventually.
It's game of total, you know?
Yep. Soren Madsen, Denmark, 327.5. A jump of 20 kilos for a personal best of 10. Of course, the biggest deadlift so far for the 93s.
The final attempt for Soren, 327.5 kilos.
Taking his time again.
A deadlift that could land him anywhere from 3rd to 7th, depending on how the A flight goes. But that's a mammoth amount of weight to pull.
Come on, fight for it.
Lack of grip was not an issue for his posterior chain, but the grip could not hold on.
Yeah, that's sometimes the problem for lifters. They can pull much more than they can hold. So it's up to you as a lifter to master up the grip. So then you can transfer the force.
Yeah, it's such a frustrating issue, the grip. 2 more pulls to go, both being at 330. First of which is Florine Offer, Austria. Lost out on 315. Got overruled by the jury for a missed down command. 330 would be a personal best of 4.5. The lead in the deadlift event, the lead in the B group. But Daniel Amin is yet to lift and could surpass him right after this. The left hand just gives up on the bar. Strength was there again, but not the grip.
Yeah, the issue is when you go so far with the weight, then your grip must be perfect. Otherwise, it's just gonna slip off.
As a member of the B group, I can completely understand why he was willing to risk it by adding 15. He probably would not have done that had he lifted in the A group.
Yeah, he for sure wouldn't, because then you know what your competitors have already pulled.
Yeah.
The game plan is different, and yeah.
Can someone hit over the 300s in this third flight of deadlifts? 330 for Daniel Emil Using. Yeah, only Nechas has surpassed the 300s in this third round of deadlifts. Missed out on 320. Bumped up his attempt by 10 kgs anyway. Daniel Emil Using, Denmark, 330 for a PB of 7.5. And a possible chance at a bronze medal in the deadlift event later on.
You have to pull it, come on. The atmosphere is electric here. Let's go, fight it.
Tried to support it a bit too much against his thighs. Took a toll on his grip. Was not able to lock it out. Only a few handful of successful attempts in the third round. We were mentioning that the men's were starting to catch up to the women's, but they're not. Not in the 93s.
I hope it does not go away into the A group, but we will see
So
in
the
a matter of
biggest
couple of hours.
The biggest deadlifts of the B and C group are 307.5 for Soren Madsen, Miroslav Nechas, and Rafael Betsis. Of course, those placings are subject to change with the A group later on in just an hour or so. Leading those groups is Miroslav Nechas from Czechia with 785, trailed by Daniel Emil Using from Denmark, and Mr. Blaze with 767.5. It was a pleasure having you at the commentary booth, Luca. Hopefully you'll be back in the future in some other competitions.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Hopefully you enjoy yourself. And in just a few minutes, the participation medal ceremony for these guys will be back at 5:30 for the A groups. Let's catch you then.